Welcome to Jurassic Park.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Why don't we just wait here for a little while?
Do you want to know what it is?
There's no knowing where you might be swept off to.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Shepherds we shall be, for thee, my Lord, for thee.
I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
There's a special rug in hell reserved for people who waste good scotch.
He peed on my rug!
He peed on the dude's rug.
Do your worst.
Final report of the commercial starship Nostromo.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Welcome to Your Feature Presentation, the podcast where we explore stories, the latest movies and pop culture. Grab your popcorn and join the show. I am your host, Heath Fall, and with me, the matinee maniac, Andrew McKay.
Do I go every time you say matinee maniac? I think it's in the lore.
Yeah, I went straight Blues Clues. Let me drop a cool soundbite right here.
Nice. Very cool.
Thank you. Do you remember when Steve from Blues Clues showed up during COVID and told us everything was going to be okay?
Yeah, I do. I took it personally.
I was like, I think I even got a little emotional to that because I'm like, everything was so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And just having like someone from your childhood show up and be like, hey, you're doing good and things are going to be okay. I'm like,
and like speak
thanks,
to you
Steve.
in that nurturing way that is just coated in nostalgia. You're like,
yeah,
okay,
thank
you for saying that.
What if everyone from every franchise that we love did that? Like Ripley shows up in her like grungy tank with like the machine gun and is like, listen, Burke, listen, kids, everything's going to be okay. We're going to nuke the COVID from orbit. Thank
nuke
you.
it from orbit.
Thank you, Ripley.
Please?
What are some other
But not
characters?
me, right?
What are some other characters that would have told us?
I think of Mace Windu in Attack of the Clones because that was the most watched Star Wars movie for me as a child.
Hmm.
So I would need him to tell me that everything was going to be okay and that the prophecy would be fulfilled.
You think COVID surrounds this boy?
Exactly, yeah. I would need him to like just look at a little screen and ask me questions like what's on the screen.
Yeah.
And then when I got it right, he'd go over to Master Yoda. That's all I need.
And then he would flip the sign over and it would just say, "You're okay."
Yep.
Like,
yep.
Thanks, Mace. Have you heard the theory that Mace Windu, like, what if he survived?
Oh, please
fall?
don't. No.
Okay, but listen, what if he becomes he's this half-crazed Jedi, and that he's like actually turned to the dark side because he has, like, the Jedi Order failed. This is a fun theory.
Because he lost a hand?
Of course he has. We saw him get it chopped off.
No,
he
he
comes
turned to
back.
the dark side because he lost a hand. Everyone who loses a hand has to turn to the dark side.
Not Luke.
He got a hand back.
So
it's a robot hand.
But so did Anakin.
My theory fell apart. Okay, continue.
Well, now I'm derailed. Now I am derailed. What if a Mando came to comfort us?
Mando episode?
Oh, the Mandalorian came to like comfort us about COVID. I'm still on the COVID kick. And just like some pandemic happens again. He's just sitting on his ship, just leaning, hands in his pockets like, hey, I know you're really scared right now, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah. It's going to be all right. Like, thank you, Pedro Pascal.
Or with the Mandalorian, they couldn't get him that day. So it's just the Mandalorian looking at you like, you go ahead, ask me if it's going to be okay. And then you just slight nod.
Oh, yeah, just one nod.
That's more
good.
powerful than Steve from Blues Clues.
Man.
All right. Let's get into this.
Yeah. So this weekend, we have Kraven the Hunter and War of the Rohirrim. Rohirrim, why do I do that?
I thought you were joking.
No, why do I do that?
The Rohirrim.
War of the Rohirrim. Did I say it right?
Yes. Well,
okay,
now
great.
I'm confused because I made it Rohirrim.
Yeah, Rohirrim.
Rohirrim.
Kraven the Hunter is Spider-Man character who has a very complex relationship with his father, Nikolai, and it starts him down a path of vengeance with some brutal consequences, and becomes the greatest hunter in the world. And I'm not sure how they're going to tie in some sort of connection to Spider-Man that they won't fulfill, but that'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah. This is a movie, to be honest, I'm not excited about it because I'm really tired of these iconic Spider-Man villains having side projects that we don't bring in Spider-Man. Like, this should be a Spider-Man movie. Like, just, it's, Morbius, and like, Morbius was terrible. And so I'm like, I don't know. I like Aaron Taylor Johnson. So I would definitely, for me, this is one I'm like, I'm not excited about it, but I love Spider-Man. And if I look at the reviews and like, if it looks decent, I'll go. But I have a feeling it's not going to be good because they can't seem to make good movies, especially without
Which is
Spider-Man.
a big bummer because like Aaron Taylor Johnson is awesome. Like he's a pretty good actor.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then we have the animated Lord of the Rings movie that we've been chatting about and looking forward to for a long time. War of the Rohirrim. You like that?
I like
Rohirrim.
Yeah, we're pumped. We have a whole episode about this, kind of just our projections. We'll probably do a review of it sometime. I'm very excited. It looks really good. It's got a great track record with some good directors, and I feel like these animated movies, when they're taken seriously, like this feels like kind of not Disney, my gosh, DC, like superhero Justice League movies, and like
those are some of the best DC stuff.
They're so good. They're so consistent, and so I think I do have high hopes for this one. This will be the one I watch in theaters, and we maybe have a little after show. I'm not sure if we can swing it. We're doing a lot, and it's Christmas time, and I have a family.
It is.
Andrew has a family. We have wives that like us, which is
yes.
Is that weird to you?
It is fortunate, and at some points in my life, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way.
There's a time you could have gone back and be like, dude, you're going to have a wife that actually likes to hang out with you and like is jealous for your time. Like,
wrong?
No, I don't buy it.
I don't know.
But yeah,
very
so
blessed.
We'll try to do as what we can. But yeah, we want to keep the pod going, but it's difficult for holiday season. So we hope you guys are having a fun holiday as well.
Yeah.
So that's this weekend. So let's get right to our question of the day. I have a question this week.
I'm so excited.
Andrew, my friend, my buddy, my pal, the Matinee Maniac.
That's what they call me.
That's what they call you. What is a movie that you love that no one seems to talk about?
Oh.
And I have one if you don't.
Yeah, you can go first.
So you made a joke last week's episode about Die Hard, and this is the same director of Die Hard, but it's a movie called The 13th Warrior. Have you seen this movie?
No, never heard of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's Antonio Banderas, and it's this movie where these Northmen, like Antonio Banderas is he's like a Muslim, what do you call that? It's not an interpreter. He like connects his culture with someone else's culture. He's like, this is how we do things in our world. My gosh, what do you call that? Like, ambassador, yes. So he's trying to be an ambassador to the Northmen, so he connects with them. He doesn't even understand their language, and they basically have this omen situation where they're like, we're needed further north with one of our fellow, kings. He needs help. So we need to have like the omens, they roll the bones and they're like, we need 13 and one of them cannot be a Northman. And so they pick everyone and then they join him. So they go on this quest, 13 of them, they go, and it's a really, the music is great. The music is actually played in Kingdom of Heaven during his speech when he's like, this is so you remember it, and he slaps the guy. He's like basically knighting all of Jerusalem. that scene, and that music is straight from the 13th Warrior, because Ridley Scott, it was temp music that he's like, actually, can we just use 13th Warrior music right there? So that's a kind of fun little fact.
Wow.
But yeah, 13th Warrior, it just follows this journey, and then there's like these crazy, like, you don't know if they're like skinwalkers or they're enemies or whatever. Lots of good action, lots of good music, really freaky in some parts, terrifying visuals of just like characters and makeup. And just an epic kind of night movie, a journey movie. And not a lot of people talk about it. It's from the director of Die Hard. It wasn't, I think, received super well because I think it just wasn't a good time, but I love it. And I feel like people don't talk about it enough. So that's my pick right there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That was a little mini movie talk. I apologize for getting
I love
long-winded.
that. No. So good. I think mine is The Last Duel.
Ooh.
You've heard of this?
I've seen it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So 2021, Ridley Scott, Matt Damon and Adam Driver are the two stars, along with Jodie Comer. And it really captivated me, and it's well rated. IMDb has it at like 7.3, which is like fine. It's good. It's good. It wouldn't deter most people, like just by rating, but it's a really interesting way to tell a story from genuinely multiple perspectives. So they go through the same point A to point B or whatever through initially one character. And then you get to the end of that and it just stops. And it's like essentially like chapter 2, the other character that you kind of have been introduced to but haven't really explored very much. And it's a whole thing from their side. So it's like Matt Damon first, and then Adam Driver, and then Jodie Comer. And you think, like, going along with the movie, it's like Adam Driver is first, and you're like, oh, you're seeing it. So you're like, this is just how it went. This is fact. And then when it switches over to Matt Damon, it's like they have to react the whole scene. Same lines, almost the same words every time, but the actors change how they say them and what bodily actions they're doing. So they go through the two guys, and then they throw on like what you didn't expect, honestly, I feel like my prejudice of being like, I'm a man, I'm here to watch movies about men. Yeah. Jodie Comer's experience, how she perceives the events come through, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
And like, it's just such a interesting, cool way to tell a story. And it's not one that I think a lot of people talk about or are willing to rewatch because it is very, I don't think sad is the right word, but it's like, it is partially the stories about like assault.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it like not an easy, fun little watch, right? Because it makes the story very complex and nuanced. But it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of movies that have made me feel that much compounding over the whole thing. So
I definitely want to keep it lighter for our Christmas episodes.
No,
but so I won't dive deep because it is very heavy themes in that movie.
Super heavy.
But yeah, I agree. It's like, man, what a movie that talks to you about truth as an individual from perspective. It's so interesting.
Like each person's perception of reality, how you can interpret the same sentences, the same words being spoken, just by body language changing. Oh man.
Yeah.
I finished the movie. You're right. It's very heavy, but I finished the movie like just smiling because I had like actually witnessed a genuine art, like expression of art that Ridley Scott could bring three perspectives so fully to the screen and do each of them justice and make you believe each perspective. And you go, I think they're all like really rooted in the truth, right? It's very interesting. So
Yeah, it's that meme, this is art. Like,
precisely.
we talk about movies, and I'm always more towards a straight entertainment movie. Just like,
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
let me eat my unsalted, unbuttered popcorn and just enjoy.
Julie.
They call me Julie.
They call me Julie.
But this is something that just like it wants to say something, and it makes you want to ask questions. Even on the lighter side of what actually happens, we can ask ourselves, did I see what I wanted to see in that interaction?
Yeah.
And I think that's a very valid question, especially in relationships. We always put our spin on things. We always even put our desires into them, and it's just like, it's a dangerous place. And obviously this is, this movie shows some of the worst, but it is a powerful, well done movie. And the action is really good too. It is just like, it's a medieval movie. It's all about this duel. And the battle scenes at the beginning especially are just really good. It's Ridley Scott. And I think I definitely have some struggles with him. Gladiator, I thought was just like, it was okay. It's just Napoleon, I think, was okay. I feel like we're not getting some greats like we have. But Ridley Scott has already given us greats. He's Gladiator, Alien, and he's hit those peaks. I just don't think we're really getting to those levels with him anymore, but it's going to be a visually stunning movie. It's going to look good. It's going to sound good. It's going to be a product, a beautiful product. And if you were going to ask what's his last great movie, I think this would be at least one of them. You know what I mean? Like, if anyone's like, he hasn't done anything good since Gladiator, it's like The Last Duel for sure.
Yeah, I think people will pick this one up as it gets older. They'll go back to it and be like, okay, what else has Ridley Scott done? And that will be one that rises to the top.
Yeah,
so
it'll rise.
Great question,
rise
Heath.
up.
Very good
It'll
question.
rise up. It'll rise so high. It'll be as if we are defying gravity. It's
because it's not easy being green.
I defying gravity. So this weekend, I have not seen Wicked. I've still not seen Wicked, but we have a special interview with my wife and my two sister-in-laws. All saw Wicked together, and we have an interview with them talking about Wicked. So that's our little bonus movie talk for this weekend. It'll be crazy.
Very cool.
It'll be insane. All right.
It's going to go off
the rails hard. But super excited for that. So tune in for this Saturday. It's kind of a light, fun, Wicked talk. And Andrew is going to take us home.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. As always, you can find our full video show on Spotify and on YouTube. Subscribe YouTube. Follow us on Spotify even. You can also follow us on Instagram. Just carry along with us every day of the week with our fun shenanigans about movies. And as always, go see a movie.